Hello and welcome to the RW and JB Sports Podcast here in Austin, Texas with your hosts Justin Blue and Reagan Williams. Today we will be going through the NFL playoff clinching scenarios for Week 17 and then move into a preview of the college football playoff that's upcoming this Saturday. So let's just start in the AFC East division. The Patriots are the only team from that division that's going to the playoffs. They're in the 2 seed right now and likely to stay there. They play the Jets at home. If they win and all the other division winners win, they'll be the 2 seed. So they can still clinch the 1 seed. They have to beat the Jets. Kansas City has to lose, and the Chargers have to lose at the Broncos. So this is kind of unlikely. So I assume that the Patriots will end up in the 2 seed with the bye, with their first divisional playoff game at home against either the Texans or Colts or Titans or whoever wins that game. So then moving into the AFC West, the winner of this division will get the 1 seed, as it seems right now. The Chiefs play at home this weekend versus Oakland, so they will probably clinch the 1 seed and win the division. The Chargers play at the Broncos. Both games are at 3:30 Central Time. So for the Chargers to win the division, they'll have to beat the Broncos in Denver, and then Kansas City will have to lose at home versus Oakland. I don't know. What do you think about this?
I mean, I can definitely see the Chiefs beating the Raiders. The Raiders are just terrible this year.
Yeah.
Traded away Khalil Mack, which is terrible.
Yeah.
They got some draft picks that'll hopefully get them back to relevance. But with the Chargers, they're looking really good. I think they'll be the dark horse candidate for the Super Bowl this year. They're more balanced than any team I can think of.
All right, sounds good. And that's right about the Chargers. It's disappointing that they've been so good. They have a better record than New England, but with how the playoffs work, they'll end up as the main wild card team, and they'll play whoever wins the AFC North. So let's move into the AFC North division. So this is going to be a crazy weekend for this division. So the Ravens right now lead the division by a half game over Pittsburgh. They do have the tiebreaker, so in the event that the Browns and Ravens tie, the Ravens would get in the playoffs as the 4 seed and as the AFC North champion. And then they'll play the Chargers, as it seems right now. The Chargers are pretty much locked into that 5 seed. So, but the Steelers, they'll have to beat the Bengals, and they'll have to have the Browns beat the Ravens. Well, the Browns have been pretty good lately.
But the Browns playing at home?
Nah, the Browns are.
Okay.
It's in Baltimore.
Okay.
So I don't know. It's going to be a good game.
Y'all beat the Ravens, right?
Yeah, I'm a Browns fan. We did beat the Ravens the first time, but they had Joe Flacco at quarterback.
Ooh.
So I feel like they're a whole new team under Lamar Jackson.
I said when the draft
with
came,
Lamar Jackson now.
Lamar is an underrated quarterback.
Yeah, he's been good. He's actually thrown the ball better than I thought he would coming out of Louisville. But I don't know. That should be a good game. So the Browns pretty much control who wins that division, because if they beat the Ravens in Baltimore, then the Steelers will win the division as long as they don't choke at home versus the Bengals.
Do the Pittsburgh Steelers have Patrick Conner or whatever?
James Conner? I believe he's back this week, yes. Okay, now let's move into the NFC. So the Rams right now are the 2 seed. They're pretty much locked into that as long as they don't fall at home versus the 49ers. But the 49ers without Jimmy G, they've had a lot of injuries this year. One of the most injury-prone teams this year. So they'll probably get the bye. The Saints are already locked into the 1 seed. So they will probably rest their starters this Sunday at home against Carolina. The road to the Super Bowl will go through Mercedes-Benz Superdome, and that stadium is super loud, so that is some big home field advantage for
Cowboys
them.
beat them earlier this year, yeah.
In Dallas, though, that's the thing. And if Dallas beats either Seattle, Eagles, or Vikings, they'll play at New Orleans in the divisional round. So then the Bears right now are the 3 seed. This is going to be they're a very good team. So this is going to be a weird matchup this weekend. They play in Minnesota. People are wondering if the Bears are going to play their starters or not. I feel like they will, just because they still have a chance of getting the bye in the event of the Rams losing at home versus the 49ers. I mean, I don't know. They could. They've had a couple flunkers this year. So, I mean, they could lose. And then the Bears would have to beat the Vikings and eliminate them. The Vikings are playing for a playoff berth. If they win, they're in the wild card. So I don't know. That's probably going to be the game of the weekend. Bears at Minnesota here at 3:30 Central. And then the Eagles, they can also get in. Nick Foles has been
I swear to
amazing,
God.
just like he was in the playoffs last year, leading them to the promised land.
I believe he's better than some of these starting quarterbacks in this league.
I mean, he's been better than Carson Wentz
Exactly.
in his couple games that he started, for sure. I mean, he looked great against the Texans.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so the Eagles will have to win at Washington with the third-string quarterback. That shouldn't be the problem. But they'll have to rely on the Vikings to lose at home versus Chicago. But if Chicago plays their starters, like with Mack and Trubisky and all those guys, I feel like Chicago can beat them. But if they decide to rest their starters, and since they'll probably end up playing the first week of the playoffs, they might. I don't know. If they're trying to go for the bye, they might.
I've seen some case of magic with Adam Thielen, maybe.
Maybe, except Kirk Cousins is their quarterback now. But yeah, I don't know. He's been on and off. We'll see. The Vikings-Bears is going to be a big matchup because they control the Eagles' playoff hopes too.
Did we talk about the AFC South?
Yeah, the AFC South. Here we go. So, Colts and Titans. Ooh. So, I don't know. But then you have the Texans. So, I mean, okay, so the Texans, the Texans play at 12 Central. So, if they win the division and are likely the 3 seed. And then you have that Sunday night game, Colts-Titans. The winner will go to the playoffs. I really don't see how the Titans will win. On First Take this morning, all those guys were talking about how the Titans are such a boring team, so that the league really doesn't want them in. Like, they want to see Andrew Luck in the playoffs, because with that O-line, like, he has so much time to throw the ball.
You know who doesn't have an O-line?
The Texans. The Texans. Oh, yeah.
Watson's been getting
that is so true.
Sacked, dude.
That is very true.
It's terrible.
I don't know. Jacksonville, I don't know, dude. Jacksonville's been
it started when Jalen Ramsey talked trash.
Didn't they beat the Redskins last week? No, I think the Redskins did beat them, actually.
Yes.
The Redskins beat them. Okay. But they did win last week. So they have some momentum. But also, I feel like the Jaguars are a team that right now is playing for the draft. Sitting at 4 wins, they can still get in the top 5.
They
so, I mean,
quarterback.
Yeah, and with Blake Bortles starting, the Texans, that should be an easy win. But, I mean,
knowing the Texans, they'll just they'll choke it away.
I don't know. So, if the Texans win, they win the division. In the event that the Jaguars beat the Texans clinched a playoff berth, so they're in the playoffs.
Yes.
But if the Jaguars beat the Texans will fall to the 6th seed. They'll go from the 3 to 6 seed and not get that home playoff game.
Dude,
and then you will have to play either the Colts or Titans
I'd rather
in the
play
first
the
round.
Titans.
Well, yeah.
Because the game would be at NRG Stadium.
Well, yeah, but no, I'm saying if the Titans win the division.
Yeah.
So if that Sunday night game decides the division, the Texans will have to play at the winner of that game. So you have to play at Lucas Oil, or you have to play at Nissan.
I'd rather play the Titans. The Colts are more well-rounded than the Titans.
And the Colts beat you the last game, too. Yeah. They ended y'all's winning streak. So, I mean,
T.Y. Hilton.
I don't know.
That man is a beast.
If the Texans win this weekend, they win the division. And then they can just sit back and see who they're playing Sunday night.
Yes.
If they don't win, then they're waiting to see where they're going to travel.
That's so bad.
So the Texans need to win this game. This is a big game for them.
I really hope the Titans come out winning because T.Y. is just the owner of NRG.
I want the Colts. They're an exciting team.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's like the Colts are
the league doesn't want the Titans in.
No.
I don't even think Mariota's going to play. I saw this morning that he's like, I don't know, he's not 100%. So if he's out, the Colts are going to make it. The Colts are going to win.
And then we'd have to play him.
And then it would be Colts at Texans as long as y'all win.
Damn, that's tough.
Yeah.
That's bad.
That's pretty hard.
Yep.
And then you have the AFC North. That crazy division. But the Steelers aren't eliminated from the wild card yet. They can still make it. So if the Ravens beat the Browns and win the division, the Steelers would have to beat the Bengals and then root for the Sunday night game between the Colts and Titans to be a tie.
Oh my God.
And then the Steelers would jump those two teams because of conference record and get that 6th seed and then would play the Texans. Or the Colts or the Titans or whoever wins that division. I don't know. It's going to be a crazy weekend. I feel like the Browns can beat the Ravens.
Yeah, I could definitely see it. Y'all beat the Panthers.
I think so.
Y'all came close to beating the Texans.
We beat the Panthers.
Yeah, that's what I said. Y'all beat the Panthers. Yeah.
Played a good second half in Houston, too.
I'm just saying, the Browns are going to be, I would say, maybe...
Oh, yeah, we're set for the future.
Oh, yes, definitely.
We're set for the future, for sure. Yeah. The Indians and Cavs died so that the Browns could live.
Yeah.
That was a trade worth making, for sure.
Hey.
So, I don't know. So, the Browns beat the Ravens. I mean, the Steelers have a history of playing down to their competition, but it's in Pittsburgh. If it was in Cincinnati, I would say, you never know. Even if the Ravens lose, they might still win the division. But, yeah, I don't know. The Bengals are a train wreck right now, so Steelers will probably jump them.
Do they have anybody good?
They don't really, besides AJ Green.
Yeah.
I mean, they still got Vontaze Burfict, Carlos Dunlap.
Those guys are washed.
Yeah. Tyler Boyd was good.
Yeah.
But then he got hurt, so he sat out last week.
I got that.
So I do feel like the Browns can beat the Ravens. I don't think they will. The Ravens are playing for a playoff berth. They haven't won the division in a while. It's always been Pittsburgh, so that would be nice for them. I feel like, I don't know, Pittsburgh's had a weird year. They've been up and down. They lost to the Raiders, then they beat the Patriots, you know? Like, they've been up and down all year.
They got screwed by the refs at the Chargers game.
Yeah, they did.
The refs have been trash this year.
Yeah, we shouldn't even talk about the referees, but they have, oh my gosh.
They've ruined
the refs have decided the playoff picture,
yeah.
which is not good and has never happened this bad before. Same with kickers. They've never been this noticeably bad. This year there have been more like missed extra points and missed like chip shot field goals.
Y'all could have 3 more wins.
Yeah.
If you think about it. That's crazy.
Yeah. The Browns could have won the first 2 games with a kicker.
Mm-hmm.
And probably would have more.
Mm-hmm. And then the ref screwed you against the Raiders.
Yeah, and then the Raiders game. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. The Browns only played like trash in 3 games.
Yeah.
The Chargers, Chiefs, and Texans, and all those teams are better than us, and are all except the Texans. Sorry, buddy.
I mean,
are all like possibly Super Bowl teams.
Yeah.
I mean, we should have beat the Saints week 2 with Tyrod Taylor. We missed 4 kicks, 2 extra points, 2 field goals. We hit the upright like 3 times. That was ridiculous.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I feel like the game to watch this weekend is going to be the Vikings and Bears, just because the Eagles kind of came out of nowhere and like emerged as this playoff team, and I feel like they'll be dangerous if they go. I mean, they'll have to play the Bears in the first round. But the Seahawks aren't locked into that first wild card, though. Like, no, they clinch, but they're not locked into it. So right now they would play the Cowboys. The Cowboys are locked into the 4 seed NFC East champions.
How good is the Seahawks run defense?
They're off and on.
All right, so if they
play
the Cowboys,
the Seahawks defense is always pretty good. Without Richard, but they don't have Richard Sherman anymore.
I'd say they're crumbling, though. Like,
I mean, they shut down Pat Mahomes this Sunday, though. They beat them.
That's true.
Seattle's a hard place to play, but they don't have home field now.
Yep.
But they play I believe the Cardinals this weekend at home, if I'm not. Let me check.
They have a good coach in Pete Carroll, except he decided to throw the ball on the 1-yard line.
Yeah. They should have won 2 out of 3 Super Bowls in a row and decided not to. Yeah. So the Seahawks play this weekend at home versus the Cardinals. If they win, they'll be the 5 seed, and they'll play in Dallas. Now, they did play at the beginning of the year in Seattle, and Seattle just shut down Ezekiel Elliott.
Yeah.
Made him not a factor. But the Cowboys didn't have Cooper at that time. So I don't know. It's going to be different than the first time, especially being in Dallas. Different place to play than Seattle with the dome and everything. So if they win, they'll get the 5 seed, and then the Eagles and Vikings will be competing for that last wild card. But I don't feel like the league wants the Vikings to get in just because they'll play the Bears 2 weeks in a row.
Ugh.
Like, they'll play at home and then they'll go to Chicago. Like, I don't think they want that. So I don't know. Their Eagles could make it.
Yeah.
They'll win. They just have to rely on the Bears now. And the Bears still could get a bye. So that's why I feel like they shouldn't rest their stars. I feel like they will just because they're like, well, probably the Rams are going to beat the 49ers at home. Yeah. Like, why do it? But I don't know. The Rams could lay an egg. You never know.
Yeah, I mean, they started off terrific, like 9-0, right? And then since then, they've been kind of unreliable. Yeah.
I feel like this year is so different from last year just because, like, both conferences are wide open. Like, last year, we knew it was either going to be Pittsburgh or New England coming out of the AFC. And it was almost Jacksonville. Probably should have been Jacksonville. They choked that game with, like, the final 8 minutes or whatever. They led 21-7 and then blew it.
Yeah.
But this year, I don't know. Like, the Saints could lay an egg like they did against the Cowboys.
Yeah.
They could have clinched home field way before they ever did.
Exactly.
So, I don't know. But they do get home field. They do get that Mercedes-Benz Superdome noise every week.
Oh, yeah.
Going to...
And that's big factor.
Trying to make it to Atlanta this year.
Big factor.
Yeah, I know. But the Chiefs, I don't know. I feel like the Chargers are better than the Chiefs.
I will say the only thing I can see happening for the Chiefs is just the inexperience of Patrick Mahomes in a playoff game.
Yeah. That's true. At home, though.
At home? Yeah. I mean, that is
at home.
Helpful, but...
And it's helpful that they got the 1 seed rather than just a bye.
Because
then if they play New England, they'll get to do it at home instead of, like, Pat Mahomes having to go to New England.
Terrible when it comes to playing away. They've lost to Miami.
Yeah. Miami Miracle.
Steelers.
Baby. Yeah.
And those are, like, teams they should have easily beat.
Patriots played like trash that game in Pittsburgh.
Those are games they should have easily won.
They laid a fat egg in that game. So, yeah, I'm going to say Texans are going to get the 3 seed.
Mm-hmm.
I do think the Ravens are going to beat the Browns. I think it's going to be a better game than everyone thinks.
Yeah. Lamar versus Baker. That's a good game.
ESPN said that the Ravens have like a 64 or 68% chance of beating the Browns. I think it's lower than that. I think it's probably like 55-45.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. I feel like Baker could do it.
I
Denzel Ward's out, so that's going to hurt us.
Concussion.
Yeah, he got another concussion. Like, I believe his 3rd of the year.
Oh, I would say, though, I think the main factor in this game is going to be the run offense of Nick Chubb.
Yeah.
I
for sure.
see...
The Ravens defense is so good.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not even scared of Lamar Jackson. I'm scared of that defense.
Yeah.
The first time it was Denzel Ward won us the first Ravens game. He blocked a field goal and then he intercepted a ball like at the goal line on like 3rd and goal.
It's crazy.
I know.
I think the game of the week is definitely going to be the Titans and Colts.
Yeah.
That's going to be the game of the week.
Especially if the Texans lose. So if the Texans lose, I'll say that that's the game of the week just because it decides a division and it can get a 3 seed. I mean, okay, the winner of that game could still get a bye.
Mm-hmm.
Depending on if Patriots lay an egg against the Jets. But it's in New England, so they probably won't. That's unlikely. But the Texans, I don't know, man.
Sam Darnold is going to have the game of his life.
Yeah, in New England.
And as a Texans fan, I'm going to be rooting for the Jets. But even if the Jets win, we're probably going to lose to the Jags because we're the Texans.
Oh, man. So, if the Texans lose to the Jaguars, that Sunday night game will be the game of the day for sure, just because it
That'd be the game of the year.
Yeah. And it'll be... And whoever wins will play the Texans, I think, no matter what. The question is just where is it going to be? Texans lose, they don't get that home field.
I know. But, I mean, if it's at home against the Colts, T.Y. is a beast.
I mean, the Colts are really good, like, anywhere.
I know.
Especially Houston and Indianapolis kind of have the same scenario with the dome, with the closed roof.
Yeah.
Same colors and everything. So those two teams are pretty similar. I don't know. It should be a good playoffs. I think we're in for a show this year.
Oh, yeah.
Both conferences are completely wide up. But I feel like even a wild card team, like, I feel like the Eagles can make a run, like, and go to the NFC Championship.
Yeah.
Maybe not the Super Bowl, but, like, they can make a fat run.
I think Nick Foles can do it again.
The AFC, the Chargers, great team. They should get a bye with their record, but since they're with the Chiefs, they can't. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, I think that they'll beat this. I think they can beat the Steelers again.
Yeah.
They played them well the first time in Pittsburgh, and then they completely choked that Ravens game. They played very bad that game.
The Chiefs almost lost to the Ravens.
They did. I know. I feel like if the Ravens get there, they might, like, I don't know, dude.
Yeah.
They're going to be a hard team to beat. If they can beat the Chargers, I feel like they can beat the Chiefs.
I feel like the Chargers are the safest bet.
Yeah.
They've been more consistent than any
team. That's why, as a Browns fan, I'm rooting for us and then to help Pittsburgh. Not to help Pittsburgh, but to hurt Baltimore. Because I feel like the Chargers will beat the Steelers and then they'll just be out. Yeah. But I feel like the Ravens are going to, like, do some damage and then get some momentum going into next year. Mm-hmm. And that's not what we want. We want to just knock them out and then let the Steelers get in and then hopefully lose in the first round. If not, they'll probably play in Kansas City or New England and then lose in the second round. But I don't know. I think the Ravens could beat the Chiefs. They almost did. They should have the first time. Yeah. I think they missed a field goal in that game. I mean, I don't know. Something happened. Lamar he had a great game that
Andy Reid, the coach for the Chiefs, is terrible when it comes to playoffs. Like last year when they played the Titans, they
lost in the first round.
Yeah, they lost in the first round to Marcus Mariota.
Yeah. So Pat Mahomes wasn't this good last year, though. He wasn't this good.
Mm-hmm. Patty Mahomes.
All right, do you want to move into the college football playoff talk now?
Yeah.
All right, so this Saturday is the annual event of the college football playoff. Started 4 years ago. Ohio State took the first one.
Yeah.
And then from now on, it's been Bama every year, except 2 years ago. Clemson beat them 2 years ago.
Oh, yeah, Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, with Deshaun Watson.
That was a good-ass game.
Yeah, but so Bama's been in every playoff 4 years in a row. They've only lost in the first round one time.
Yeah, Nick Saban is the greatest coach.
They've lost twice out of four. They won 2 out of 4 total. They beat Georgia last year. Another game that they should have lost, but came out of nowhere.
Yeah, Georgia sports choke.
Okay, so let's start with Notre Dame Clemson.
Ooh.
So Notre Dame, I don't know, people all year
knows about.
Yeah, no, I can't even name like one of their players to be completely honest, but like all year, all I've seen on Twitter is Notre Dame should not be in. They play nobody all year. I mean,
so with Alabama.
They
play the Citadel.
But I know.
Who's that?
So Notre Dame, other than Week 1 versus Michigan, hasn't had a high caliber win like that. They beat Michigan, like they beat them down Week 1. And Michigan was a good team, but like other than that, they haven't really played anybody all year. And then Clemson is kind of in the same boat, but they play in the ACC, so they play some good teams.
Yes.
And it's the same kind of thing with Alabama too. But then Oklahoma did play some good teams, and they beat them all.
Yeah, Kyler Murray. I mean, as a Texas fan, I hate OU.
Yeah.
But Kyler Murray is a beast, dude.
So let's go through Notre Dame's schedule here. So week 1, this is probably now. Michigan was, I think Michigan was higher than 7. No, they might have been like 10 to start the year. But they're 7 now.
Mm-hmm.
They beat them 24-17, but they were up like for most of that game. It wasn't as close as that seemed. And they beat Ball State, but they barely beat Ball State.
Yeah.
Like they laid an egg that game and still came away since they were at home. And Vanderbilt, Wake Forest, Stanford. Everyone was like, "Oh, Stanford's good," but they weren't this year. Ever since they lost McCaffrey, they've not been as good. And then they won at Georgia Tech. That was actually a pretty good win. Georgia Tech was on a roll at that time. Pittsburgh, they almost lost to. You remember that game, 19-14? They came away like at the very end. Then they beat Navy, Northwestern. They're pretty good.
I mean, these are teams that like
Notre Dame's a smart school.
Yeah,
not really football school. Syracuse, they destroyed. Syracuse was on a roll at that time. So I mean, they have had some good wins. They haven't had at the caliber of Michigan, and I feel like they're inexperienced in the college football playoff.
Yeah,
like in New Year's Six bowls, they haven't played in a lot. And I feel like since Clemson has been here the past 3 years, other than 2014, that they have the advantage. And then with Trevor Lawrence at quarterback too, he's been really good this year. Freshman too, so they've got a lot of time with him left.
What about Oklahoma? They've played good teams. They've played. I mean, everybody says the Big 12, their defense is terrible.
It is.
It's the best conference in football. I'm just saying, college football.
No way. SEC. No way.
Well, the thing is,
Georgia got snubbed. They still should have made it.
I know. That's what you get whenever you blow a lead to Alabama.
Fromm was so good.
No, but
I know
the Big 12,
just like last year.
Big 12, you have West Virginia, you have Oklahoma, you have Texas. Those are all 3 really good teams.
But they don't play defense. If you're thinking of best conference as like the most, I don't know, like top 25 teams, it might be up there. But like I think of the best conference in terms of like
balance.
Transferring players to the NFL. Like, because the point of college football is to get the players ready for the next level. And the SEC does the best job of that. Like, they play defense.
Uh-huh.
They kick off, like, to the 1-yard line. Like, when you watch Alabama, they do the same thing New England does. They kick off to the 1-yard line, and then they return it, like, to the 20. So they lose 5 yards automatically to start the drive.
Yeah.
The SEC does stuff like the NFL teams do it. Like, Alabama is kind of the college team of the Patriots. Like, they remind me of them so much. Nick Saban, Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
Closely related coaches there.
Mm-hmm.
So Bama will play Oklahoma.
Oh, God.
In Miami, which kind of... I feel like this game should have been the Cotton Bowl and then played in Dallas. Because, like, they're both kind of closer to Dallas. Like, Oklahoma's right there, and then Alabama's not too far.
Yeah.
But now, like, Oklahoma has to go all the way to Florida.
Well...
I don't know. And the stadium's kind of small, too.
Where does it play?
The Dolphin Stadium.
Ooh, okay.
That stadium's pretty small.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, it's the Hard Rock, so that Hard Rock Stadium is weird. Like, it's like 3/4 of an open roof. Like, it's open in the middle. Mm-hmm. Like, but it's like closed over the people.
Okay.
So it doesn't like reflect the noise like a Lucas Oil or like a AT&T Stadium does.
I will say, when it comes to this game, I think Alabama has the edge, not only because, like, Alabama has experience. They've been there.
Yeah, that is true.
Like, way more than
Oklahoma last year, though. They gave Georgia a fight.
Yeah, but that was with Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, I know.
Now they
have
but
Kyler. I would argue that to some degree, Kyler Murray's not much of a step down from Baker.
Yeah, but
I mean, this guy's going to play shortstop in the MLB like next year or in years to come.
Thank God.
He's going to be.
Stay 2 more years.
I know he's going to be an NFL quarterback, or he could be an NFL quarterback, but he's going to be an MLB superstar instead.
I hate that.
I mean, I feel like to some degree he's not much of a step down from Baker.
Is he even that good of a baseball player?
Yeah, he is. He's incredible. Have you seen his arm? He could play center field for sure and hit it to the catcher right away.
As like me being like I'm the biggest Rangers fan. That is terrible to know because he's in the A's and that's like in the same
he's
division.
in Oakland now.
I'm kind of scared now.
But I don't know. I think the key for Oklahoma is going to be they have to get some 3-and-outs.
Yes.
On defense.
They are going to have to score first too.
All year they've had like a bend but don't break, but they do break still. Like they've allowed a lot of touchdowns. Just they've had Kyler Murray to like come back and just tie it up right after that.
They had
if they're losing.
Great defensive performance against Texas. That was really good.
But they're gonna have to stop Tua. He doesn't run as much as Murray. They're different kind of quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Tua has the better arm. Murray's definitely the better. He's more mobile for sure. But Kyler can throw the ball. He can.
Yes.
Hollywood Brown man. good stretch receiver.
Yeah.
That dude can outrun like in that Texas game, he outran like the entire cover, just sat right in the middle.
Yep.
Kyler put a perfect ball to him. So I don't know, but on defense, Oklahoma has to get some 3-and-outs.
Yeah.
Like they have to rest defensively, and then with that report that came out about the 3 Alabama players, they're going to be down their left guard. They're starting left guard. If it was their left tackle, it would be more of a loss.
Yeah.
Left guards aren't as important as tackles, but I mean that's still a loss for them. I'm happy that they do that though. That's what some of you have to respect about Alabama is like they make their players,
sit out when they do
yeah,
something.
yeah. They discipline them.
Yeah. That's respectable.
Yeah. So Oklahoma's gonna have to get some 3-and-outs. For Bama, I don't know. They're gonna have to have some spy on Murray because if nobody's open, he will run. He will run and run and run and run until someone gets him for sure. He's that good. He's not afraid to take hits. He's not gonna run. He's not gonna slide. He's gonna run and take a hit and get the 3 extra yards or whatever.
I mean, he kind of reminds me of a mobile Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah,
he can get out of the pocket. And make plays when he's out of the pocket.
He is kind of like Patrick Mahomes. Mm-hmm. Smaller, but he's
yeah. I mean,
they both have really good arms too.
Yeah. And both of them.
So I'm definitely more interested to see the Oklahoma-Alabama game.
Yeah,
but I don't know. I feel like Notre Dame could beat them. They have to show up. They cannot treat this like they're playing Ball State again.
Yeah.
Like they have to treat this like because it's the deal. Like they're trying to advance the national championship.
I will say it's weird because Clemson had that weird QB controvery where one QB transferred and then this other freshman QB came.
I think Kelly Bryant. I think he got hurt and that's why Lawrence started.
Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken. I think so. And then Lawrence came in and lit it up. Kind of the same with the Browns quarterback situation, where Tyrod got hurt and then Baker lit it up, so they just left him in.
And then
that's the kind of the same. Yeah. We're not even gonna talk about Hugh Jackson. So I feel like that's kind of the same thing. So then Lawrence has been good, and he's a freshman, so they want to see what they can get out of him for 3 more years.
It's going to be Clemson, Alabama, I think.
Probably.
Previous.
Oklahoma's good. They are really good.
Yeah, I
their
get
defense
that.
Not so much.
Yeah,
but I feel like all year their offense has been able to overcome whatever points the defense gives up.
But
the defense is gonna have to get off the field sometimes.
But think about this: Alabama has been there every single 4 years of this.
Yeah,
they've been in 3 of the championship games,
and they're undefeated this year too.
Yeah, they're undefeated. So I think this is a huge mountain to climb for Oklahoma, and I think it's just too much for them.
But I mean, they're not undefeated because they lost to Texas the first time,
and they almost lost in overtime to Army, right? Or they lost to Texas. They lost.
No, they didn't lose. They beat West Virginia. That's what got them in probably.
Yeah, but they also almost lost to it was some Navy, I think.
The Navy?
Maybe.
Yeah, I think.
Or Army. It was one of the two.
So but they haven't played a powder puff like Alabama has.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, last year they definitely played a good ass team in Georgia.
It's Army. Yeah, you're right.
But that was with Baker. This is with Kyler Murray, and now it's a better opponent with Alabama. I think it's just too much.
Yeah, I think Bama's gonna win, but I think it's gonna be I don't think Alabama's gonna blow them out.
Yeah.
Last year, who did they play first last year? For Georgia. Who was it? I don't remember. Oh yeah, it was Clemson. Yeah. They destroyed Clemson last year. They beat them down.
Yeah.
In the first game, and then they almost lost to Georgia. Georgia blew it.
Yep. Nick Saban, best college football coach of all time.
He's a Bill Belichick of college, man.
Yep.
Alabama's Patriots 2.0. Yeah, I don't know. The game of the week's definitely the Bama Oklahoma. The Notre Dame game could be good. I don't know. I don't think that Notre Dame has enough experience to compete with at this level yet. I don't think they deserve to be in.
Newbies.
Personal opinion, but I don't believe they deserve to be in.
I
think they should have let Georgia in over Notre Dame.
Too. Where is Notre Dame and Clemson playing?
Dallas.
Oh,
yeah, they're playing AT&T. It's kind of far from both schools though. Yeah. Clemson, South Carolina, and then Notre Dame's up in Indiana.
Got that.
I don't know. It might not sell out. It probably won't.
Yeah.
I know a couple people going to that game.
That's cool. Where is Georgia playing for your? It's at
Sugar Bowl. Yeah, it's at the same stadium.
And they're playing Texas. Let's go Texas.
They're playing Texas, and then you have the Peach Bowl.
Who's that?
The Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl, Michigan, Florida.
Ooh.
So that's New Year's 6, and then there's Ohio State, Washington. Ohio State's probably gonna destroy them. They play in the Pac. Washington plays in the Pac-12. 6. Okay. Washington plays in the Pac-12. I don't think they have enough experience to compete.
Yeah.
at that level.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah. So
Well-
games to watch this weekend: Browns and Ravens.
Yes.
Texans and Jaguars, because that decides how good of a game the Sunday night game is going to be.
Yeah.
And then I'm really excited to watch that Bears and Vikings game.
Yeah. True.
I like the Eagles. They're not my favorite team. The Browns are my favorite team. I like the Eagles. They're exciting to watch.
Yeah, Nick Foles, he's going to do it again.
Good.
He's going to do it again.
That's why I was confused. Whenever the Pro Bowl vote came out, they said Wentz was like the starting quarterback for the NFC, which doesn't make sense. I think it's more of like a comeback player, like because they felt bad since like he wasn't a part of the Super Bowl run. But I mean, he kind of was. Like he got them to the playoffs and stuff. Nick Foles just took over.
Yeah,
But I think that's why they let him start.
I think if Carson Wentz started the playoffs last year, they would not have won the Super Bowl.
Probably not.
Nick Foles is a beast.
Probably not. They probably wouldn't have even gone.
Yeah.
They probably wouldn't have. No, and they definitely wouldn't beat New England with.
Oh, no.
I don't know. Wentz and Foles are just different quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
Foles takes a lot more shots downfield than Wentz does. Wentz is more of like a run around, check it down, and then let the receiver run 20 yards kind of guy.
He led a 2-minute drill from like their 90-yard line against the Texans, and they won.
Nice.
And that game really cost the Texans because now they're in the third
I
seed.
would love to see the Eagles back in.
Oh, yeah.
The Vikings had their miracle last year, though.
Yeah.
It's just too bad that the Seahawks had to get in. I mean, they're good, though. I got to respect them. Pete Carroll's a good coach.
I have some
He's really good.
Eagle fans that are really excited. I have Seahawks fans that are really excited. It's going to be a good playoffs.
I don't think the Vikings are as good as they were last year.
Oh, no.
Thielen is really good.
Yeah.
And Diggs is really good. But I don't know. Just Kirk Cousins not as good as Case Keenum was last year. And now this year in Denver, Keenum's not been as good.
It's just different.
And it's weird because Kirk Cousins, like he was on the radar like for all these teams, and I believe he chose to go to Minnesota too. So you would think that he would be better than this. But I mean, he's not bad. But they've had a few letdown games like against the Bills with Josh Allen. Like
that's terrible.
Yeah, at least it wasn't Nathan Peterman. Though.
Josh Allen's a good quarterback. He just has a shit team, so nobody knows about him.
Yeah, that's true.
He's a runner and a passer.
All right. So thank you guys for listening to the RW and JB Sports Podcast in ATX. Next time we'll be talking about wherever we are in the NFL playoffs, possibly the NFL draft, and maybe some NBA and NHL talk. All right. Thank y'all for tuning in. Have a good one.